Welcome back. You're watching I Born Sri Lanka with my guest this morning, Mr. Prassanna Pathmanathan, who is the National Director for Sri Lanka for Mr. Earth 2011. Prassanna, let's move on with the questions. You earlier on said that the foreign universities do have the complete package when it comes to branding, when it comes to how you sell it, how do you handle a photo shoot and things like that. Now, I know I have several friends who are really interested, who dress beautiful, you won't believe. Especially got some friends in some leading salons, and the way they dress, you know, it's unbelievable. You know, it's coming into a stage where they are setting standards in clothing in Sri Lanka. They don't care about what people have to say. It's absolute pure fashion, but sometimes to the local audience it might look something okay, not too much dress, things like that. But at the end of the day, these guys are trying to do a change. Now, having said that, there are many youngsters who want to take up this profession. Yeah, when it comes to dress designing, when it comes to you know, putting their innovative thoughts into action and coming up with some gorgeous, some unbelievable accessories, you know, to dress up with everything like that. Now, for someone who wants to study this, for someone who wants to persevere in this particular field, what is your advice? What are the courses we have? Would you rather think it's better to go overseas and get trained, or do you think we have the resources here, but it needs to be fine-tuned? What's your take on that, Prasanna?
Well, we have quite a lot of design schools over here. Say there are 4 popular schools over here, and going abroad is not easy, Krishant, because it's quite a lot of expensive. It's really expensive. So, but the thing is, over here the issue is where the students they stuck with what the lecturer teaches them or what is there in their books, right? But you can learn whatever that I told that foreign universities are offering online. Every material is available. Our students, they have to take the effort and little bit of trouble to go and read some extra material and to make some contacts overseas and to learn from them. So in that case, I think that will be more sufficient, a person who wanted to start a career in fashion, because those days our fashion professionals, they didn't have any academic background in terms of fashion. Their interest towards the fashion, the innovative thoughts which helped them, and they are in big heights today. But now there are enough and more people who provide fashion support in terms of these fashion schools, and also the fashion consultants who work independently in freelance basis. So you can approach them and you can see the interest that you have in fashion. Study your basics, which is really important, because you should know for your design which fabric would be suitable. And you also should know, that is one major point our people lacking, of the practical element of their garments. You know, you can do fabulous designs and fabulous materials and, you know, all sort of fabrics. But if it's not practical and if it's not sellable, what's the point of constructing that particular garment? So that part is really important in terms of what you're going to do in the future.
Prasanna, do you think the companies who are into manufacturing or into the garment business, now there is one advertising campaign which is right now going on in the media, is that it's what a shirt should be. You know, how they focus on a person being a professional, and being a professional is a person who wears this particular shirt. A beautiful campaign which is going on radio, I suppose. Now, these type of things make the consumer think, okay, now I'm a professional. I'm not going to, you know, just wear another shirt. Okay, why not? You know, why don't I go into this so-called professional shirt that they're talking about? Now, this is a good way of putting out a professional piece of garment into the market. Do you think over the past years this has been focused on, or it's just been a name of a shop, it's been a name of an outlet which has been publicized? It has not been a product, a shirt or a skirt which has been promoted. What is your take on that?
Well, again, it's purely how you differentiate your label, your product from your competitor, right? Because if you take over here, you have several brands and labels, but how many labels that you remember? Like by the name, okay, when you pass by the shop, okay, you just do a window shopping, or if something attracts you from the window, you just go in and buy it. But in the past, you know, our people, because there were like so much of like very few industry giants, so there was not much of a competition, right? But now the competition is really high, and now they have to fight for the market share, and now they are struggling for it. So because of that reason, so much of innovative ideas and campaigns, and you know, putting the message across, and to show their label is so unique. So these kind of new ideas are coming up, which is really good.
Absolutely. Prasanna, do you know anyone, okay, who has, I mean, you're in the field, you know, you have contacts, a designer in Sri Lanka who has set standards, who's giving his or her services to a popular label in Sri Lanka, or anyone like that who has come to a particular stage in this industry? Any examples you can?
There are so many, Krishanta. For example, starting from Yolanda Aluhara, who has made mark in Sri Lanka as well as abroad as well. Darshik Kirtisena from Buddhi Batiks, who's just doing miracles
With batiks.
with batiks, and you don't believe she has constructed garments for in terms of swimming suit in batiks. And to see on the ramp, it was really lovely. And of course, our top designers like Fenaka De Silva, Michael Vijay Surya are like known very well for their designs, and the newcomers like Katie Brown, who got the chance to show her collections in Moscow Fashion Week. This guy recently, Dimutu Sabandu, a 25-year-old gentleman whose designs are fabulous during the Colombo Fashion Week, was able to get his brand to the IPL fashion show. And there are quite a lot of people who I can't, you know, exactly remember and, you know, name it, to name them. So there are quite a lot of designers who are doing really well in terms of locally and in terms of internationally as well.
Now, the names that you mentioned, Prasanna, like Yoland and Michael. Now, these people have been in the market so long. I mean, and any exclusive weddings, for example, for Michael, is designed by him. But the up and coming, the young ones, what is their future? How can they take a piece of the pie? What do you think will happen to them?
Yeah, and now considering this factor that you told, I have organized a fashion show in January early this year called Flamboyance, and where I have given opportunities for 15 young designers to come up with their creations. And again, in May, we did another show with a chocolate magazine called Chocolate Mother and Daughter Fashion Designer Contest. That also, again, the designers, like a platform for them to design. Their talents are extraordinary in terms of young designers. But again, as I told, they lack skills in terms of marketing their label or the product. They stick to the academic and to the books. And of course, they are good in their design, but they should go one step forward, taking the initiative to making contacts by getting consultancy from the seniors in the industry. And of course, to attract a sponsor, you need to prepare a lovely proposal. So you need those kind of skills in terms of to become popular or to make good money in this particular industry, which I think fashion schools, I think, little bit covering these days. So I think the future might be brighter.
Super. One more question before we go on to the competition itself. So now you take the European catwalks, right? It's Michael Adam or in Paris or in New York. These the designs, the focus is mainly on the seasons of it's winter, spring, summer, or something like that. Now here in Sri Lanka, what do our guys have to play around with? Is it color? Is it the material? Since we don't have any seasons, what do our guys play around with? What's your take on that?
Yeah, as you told abroad, even the fashion shoots. You don't believe the fashion shoot that we do for a magazine. It depends on the season of the particular year. So it can be a winter shoot or a summer shoot or a spring shoot. But over here, since we don't have seasons like that, it's basically the designers. If you take a fashion show or a fashion contest, what they do is in terms of a theme that they like. So it can be a theme. Recently, I saw some lovely themes in terms of gladiator. So the entire theme of the attires are like inspired by the Roman era. So another theme in terms of deep blue sea. So that means all the colors used will be the shades of sea. The designers, they get inspiration from various things, and then they design in terms of that particular inspiration. So that's how our shows and our segments, our fashion shows are planned, and the way they do it. So basically that's it.
Prasanna, let's move on to the other side of the spectrum. It's now we talked about who can deliver, but there's the other side is who is asking. Now, when it comes to the customer or the purchaser itself, let's take for example, you're designing, you want to get you're getting married, you want mainly we think of okay, let's do a gown, or let's do a candian, or let's do a sari. These are the three main things, but there is hardly we see something out of the box. I want my wedding gown in feathers, I want my wedding gown in something seriously out of the box, but this type of wantingness is, you don't see it in the market. What is it the tradition, or is it the customs that we have? We don't want to go out of the box, we stick to the gown or the sari or the candian. What do you think is the problem there?
Again, Krishanta, it's the culture, and I would say the society norms, where people might want to experience or experiment these kind of things, but not in their wedding, right?
I mean, come on, you can be a daring.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But again, it's all basically what you want. Of course, see, I know a bride who just got a garment, like a wedding going away dress. Got it done from India, like from one of the top designers in India called Manish Malhotra, and that was
එකම රැහනකින් ටෙලිෆෝන් POTV සහ බ්‍රෝඩ්බෑන්ඩ් මෙගා ලයින්
for your wedding, whereas you can wear it for. You cannot. So our brides are, I think, more brave in terms of selecting their wedding garment. So maybe, we can see in the future, maybe they might wanted something extraordinary and out of the box. But so far I have not came across anything like that.
And talking about the saris, now we were talking on that topic. Now even the saris, Prasanna, has gone to the next level. Now I saw at Pranitha Fashions, they have the saris which are brought, which has Swarovski diamonds into it. This is the second level that we have gone into. Where do you think the sari industry is heading? We are all women wear saris in this country. What do you think the new designers in sari, the batiks, you get so many things which are coming up. What do you think the sari industry is going to be in the future?
Well, yeah, compared to the saris that we had previously, times ago, now it's no more there.
Yeah.
Right, and the ones who are just sticking with their old design and traditional designs are just looking up and down and waiting, because there are new ones coming, and day by day, there's so much of influence in this country, and mainly the influence comes when you take saris, the influence comes from India. And over here also, I never heard about much people, but there are designers over here in terms of Yolan, in terms of Darshi, who are specialized in terms of saris, and going more for the synthetic kind of a material, and batik, which became very famous, and various kind of designs, and as you said, the accessories attached to the saris are becoming very famous these days, in terms of pearls, diamonds, or glasses, small mirrors, various kind of things, which is becoming a trend these days. But one should be able to identify the occasion and accordingly to select a sari.
Absolutely. Okay, we're going to talk about the competition, where this gentleman is going to be heading the seat in the distinguished panel of judges. We'll be back after the break, and we'll be talking about that once we come back.